You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
It was opened up by a very nice Memorial Day package. Truthfully, I was very concerned because they dedicated tonight's Raw to the armed forces, and the last 2 weeks of Raw have been terrible. So I was like, oh god, they're dedicating this show to the armed forces. Hopefully, it's a good show. So it opened up with Big Show coming out. I think we're all aware about how this Big Show angle has been snafu'd. But Big Show came out tonight and delivered what was a hell of a promo. Essentially, because I had an issue last week with Big Show blaming the fans for what had happened to him. I mean, a lot of heels do that for heat, but seriously, I mean, what had we done? And he showed the clip of the next segment where Brodus Clay was dancing and the fans were cheering. And, all the professional wrestlers on that night continued on with their lives, including John Cena being an asshole later that night in the final segment of the show. So, I enjoyed Big Show's promo. And, I've heard heels say a lot of dumb things, and it's fine because they're a heel. Heels are supposed to lie. But Big Show told the truth about everything, and it kind of made me not like him even more, because he was telling the truth, I thought it was excellent.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's the truth, but then again, it long, boring opening promo. It didn't get me very excited. I mean, he calls out Brodus Clay, a mid-carder. Whoop-de-fucking-do. This is a former world champion calling out a guy who hasn't even wrestled for a mid-card title yet.
True, but I mean, I thought it was, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but I mean, I enjoyed that. And the fans were chanting rapidly for Cena. And they weren't saying, it wasn't followed by the Cena sucks chant. And so I thought it was very well done how they kept Cena off this show, because like we've heard time and time again that if you don't give us what we want all the time, sometimes we want it. And I think Cena being off this show was very good this week.
You know what? Here's the strange thing. How does Brock Lesnar absolutely kill the potential for a Cena heel turn? I mean, we've teased it and the fans have wanted it for months and months and months, but midway through that match at the pay-per-view back in April, that all went away. Cena went from being the most booed person and probably getting the worst boos I've ever heard from the Chicago crowd to a standing ovation at the end of that match from the Chicago crowd. And he has not lost that success yet. Nobody boos him now. Because of Brock Lesnar.
I definitely think he's going to be over in this Big Show battle too. I mean, and mind you, WWE has a couple of weeks left of television. But, I mean, tonight what they did, in my opinion, was excellent. And now the ball is in their court. What will they have Cena do next week? If he comes out and he's stupid Cena, the fans are going to crap on it. But if he cuts a good promo, which we know he's capable of doing. He did it before WrestleMania. If he comes out and delivers good promos, this is a match that people might be interested in. I don't think it's going to change the business, but if it's a match people might be interested in. Brodus Clay versus the Big Show. This was a hell of a segment. Brodus comes out, does his gimmick, gets ready to fight Big Show. Big Show comes out smiling, attacks Brodus at the bell, destroys Brodus Clay. The tag team champions of the world, Boom Truth, come out. He destroys Boom Truth. Destruction as the cameras go off. And, Michael Cole closed it out by saying, what's John Cena going to do next week when he comes back? Jim Ross tweeted tonight, someone asked him, why did a lot of episodes of Mid-South Wrestling end with a match going on in the ring? And Jim Ross said, before the internet, that was how we got people to tune in next week, is by not finishing what we started. And I really got the feeling that from this week, because, they ended in destruction. Cena's not there. Next week, Cena will be there. There's your hook to tune in next week, which they a lot of times don't give you hooks. So I was a big fan of how this show ended. Angry Tensai, who is Boom Truth? Let's be serious. That is the name I've given R-Truth and Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, you're free to ignore that, Lord Tensai, Angry Tensai. That's a horrible name. I've tried to persuade Alex to not use it on the air because it's just absolutely deplorable. I can't talk him out of it.
So, what were your thoughts, Kev?
Overall, thought it was a good show. Can't complain.
What was your thoughts of the final segment?
Final segment, at first I was thinking, oh geez, Big Show's not gonna wrestle. We're not gonna get anything. We're not gonna get a payoff. Fuck. But then, we got Brodus out of the ring. Brodus was gonna take him on. He was gonna chase down Big Show, I think, and then Big Show charges, ducks under that punch, and hits Brodus right in the chest with his head. Hits Brodus with his own move, basically, and just beats him down. I was like, damn. I kind of like that. And then Big Show just taking one foot and just stomping it through the announcer's table. That was strong. I liked it. I liked this whole segment a lot.